What's up, Nutrabolics Nation? We are here at Perform Podcast with three-time Miss Olympia champion, Ashley Kaltwasser. So tell us, Ashley, you've been in the industry now for how many years? How long have you been in the game?
I started about 2012, but I've always been in fitness. But if we're talking competitions, 2012.
So when you first started out in the Olympia, the first Olympia that you went to, tell us a little bit about that. What was that like, getting to the Olympia stage, being there, give us the run through on that.
So my first Olympia was 2013, and I remember I just came in so grateful to be there. I just exceeded so many of my expectations, and I was like on cloud nine just to have qualified. It was my first time in Vegas. It was a big deal for me. And I remember being on stage with all these women that I looked up to, that I was like, wow, that girl was on the magazine cover last week, or that girl, I remember her, she won this show and this show. So to me, these were all like extremely big names, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm competing next to them. And, I said, I'm so grateful just to be here. I'm so excited to be here. If I were to get top 10, I would just be blown away. So during this show, I got first call outs, which I was like, whoa, did they like mess up or something? Am I supposed to be in the first call out? Are they tricking us? Yeah. Because I just couldn't believe it myself, because I came in basically as an unknown underdog, and I was in the first call out. And, as they were calling the names for the placements at the finals, they do fifth, and then fourth, and third, and then I was like, wait a minute, these are the girls that were in my call out. Maybe I'm going to be up here after all. And it was just such a rush of excitement, because they called two, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I think I might win this. And then they called my name, and I just broke down in tears, because I could not believe it myself. I came in as a rookie, as an underdog, as an unknown, and I ended up taking the title. And I felt like Cinderella or something. Yeah. It was just way beyond my expectations. And it's great when you can meet a goal, but to exceed a goal is just the best. It's way better.
How early in your career was your first Olympia win?
2013 was my first Olympia win, and that was my first Olympia. I turned pro in 2012 at Team Universe, and that was held in July, I believe, in New Jersey.
Wow, so your come up was pretty fast.
It was I started getting the hang of it.
Holy smokes.
Things started working really well for me.
So what did you do? What did you do that you think separated you from the pack? How did you really, move so quickly into that type of, mindset to win that Olympia? Give us some lowdown tips, for the people watching this.
Sure. So, getting my body into shape wasn't a problem for me, because I had just come off of college track. So I had a great base to start with. It's not like I just started lifting or working out like a lot of other people. So I was fortunate enough to, have a little bit of a head start. And, I'm one of those people that I'm realistic, okay? And I'm honest with myself. So when I didn't do so well in certain shows, I sat back, I evaluated my pictures, I compared my pictures to the others, I asked for feedback from people that know the sport very well, and I learned every time. And each time I competed, it was a learning lesson. And it's still a learning lesson. I'm still learning things. But I took every show and just improved. And we're not just talking physique. It could be posing, it could be my hair, tanning, makeup, suit, anything. You name it. But slowly I got better until I figured out, okay, this is what works for me. And all along, I'm keeping my goals very realistic. And I always say it's important to keep them realistic, because I think a lot of people set their expectations way too high. And then when they don't meet those expectations, they get discouraged, they quit. But for me, I just like keeping my goals small and just working towards the bigger ones. So just little steps at a time. And, just being consistent in general, because that's helped a lot with my consistency, is keeping my goals small and realistic.
Is there any funny moments that you have when you've been dieting? Maybe you've put like the salad that you've been eating by accident in the freezer, or done something like, where you're like, oh my God, like I can't believe I just did that. Can you give us some like fun moments that maybe you've done something and you're like, because a lot of people don't know this, but like when you're dieted down, you're obviously not thinking properly, right?
Yes. Okay. Well, it's not something that happened in real life, but I have reoccurring nightmares when I get close to a show. I have these reoccurring nightmares that I like am about to go on stage and like, oh, I guess I forgot to tan. Or I'll have another one that reoccurs like, oh, my shoes. I lost them. And then I try to ask all these girls if I could borrow their shoes, and I borrow some girls' shoes that's like huge. And I always, this one without a doubt, and I'm sure I'm going to get it in the next few weeks too, I always dream when I'm close to a show that I completely ruin my diet by like going crazy with like a cake or something, like, oh shoot, I just accidentally ate this whole cake, and then I'm feeling guilt, like, oh my God, I just ruined it. I ruined everything. And then I wake up and be like, oh, this is a dream. I don't know why. I always have that though.
What would be your weakness? Like if it was showtime and you were going to give in to something, like what would be that one craving that, you just got to stay out of the house, can't come in the house, peanut butter, ice cream, pizza, what would it be?
Well, definitely peanut butter. Those are tricky because those are like, they add up fast and you don't realize it when you lick the rim and keep doing it over. But chocolate, chocolate. Anything that's snackable, I guess you could say. So if it's already packaged, and I'm not going to get into it, but if it's open and it's like little bits, I will snack on things for sure.
What would be something when you've been coming up to a show and, like, has there been a moment where you've forgotten your shoes or, something, maybe you forgot a hair tie or just something that was like a big deal where it kind of like you had to really gear down? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, can you give us some insight on that?
Yes. So one time I was competing in Russia, and when I got to Russia, I realized, oh my God, I didn't bring my contacts because I was just traveling with my glasses because they're comfortable, So my vision is pretty bad. It's a -5. So basically I can't see anything.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get contact? I'm in Russia and I don't have, it's not like I can just get a prescription, and be like, yeah, here's my prescription. This, we're talking about a different country with different rules. But luckily, I found out you don't need a prescription over there for contacts. So I just went to the pharmacy and conveniently got my contacts.
Wow.
But thank goodness. I was freaking out for a minute.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on right now with your training, with your routine, what you've got coming up for shows. Like, give us a little insight on the next maybe 6 months for you.
Sure. So I'm competing in 2 weeks in Japan. It'll be my first time in Tokyo. And I'm, currently, doing my cardio, training. It's kind of more of a, coming off the Olympia, I took like a week break and then kind of started getting back into it. It's more maintaining than anything at this point because the Olympia was mid-September. So after the Japan show, I will take about a week off again. I like to take little week breaks. And then I will start training for the Arnold Classic and slowly start getting into that as well.
Is there anything that you're hoping to accomplish that you haven't already done? Like maybe it's like, is there a specific, magazine? Is there something that's like you're still gunning for, you still haven't done it yet?
Honestly, I don't think there is. I love surprising myself. And I love getting great opportunities that come my way, and I don't know if they're going to be yet. But, I think it's very satisfying for me when I can see my improvements that I make from show to show.
Right.
Like at the Olympia, I was like, you know what, regardless of placement, I'm really happy because my glutes have come a long way. So that was like a super exciting time for me. As silly as it sounds, this little thing that I've been working on so much, and I could finally see the results of it, I'm like, wow. I'm patting myself on the back. I was like, yeah, I did good. So I just love seeing improvements in general. Nice.
And is there some area on your body right now that you're really focused on trying to improve right now? Like what would be something that you and your team are really working on?
If anything, I would say upper body.
Yeah.
I could put a little more muscle on my upper body to kind of match the lower body, I think. And in particular for this show, I'm just kind of working on getting a little bit leaner. Not leaner than I was at the Olympia, but having my break and slowly getting into things, it's just, I took that week off and gained a little bit of weight. So just kind of working that extra off. But yeah, I would say mostly just focusing on the arms.
Nice. And so you're based out of LA for people who don't know, and you train out of Gold's Gym, is that right?
No, I just train at 24 Fitness. It's just down the block. But I have been to Gold's a few times. But it's about like 45 minutes to an hour away. So I choose not to train there because I hate just sitting in traffic.
Yeah. Are you ever out in public and people are like, oh my God, it's Ashley? Like, do you ever get that? Or like in the grocery store?
Yeah. And I'm always surprised.
Yeah.
Because it's always when I'm like in my pajamas wearing glasses and like, how do you know me? Like, how do you recognize me? One time I was even like doing this silly video skit and I was helping out my friend and I was like dressed up as a grandma.
Yeah.
Like literally wig, glasses, and everything, and somebody recognized me on the street, and I'm like, "How do you even know it's me?" I'm like, what? It's so funny when I get recognized like that, and it seems like I get recognized when I'm like incognito more than I am if I'm dressed up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy. So, are you doing? For people who don't know, are you doing training online? Like, if people want to reach out to you, maybe they want tips on advice or training or anything at all, what's the best way for them to go about that?
Sure, yeah. So I do online training. I also have a fitness app. I'm pretty responsive on my Instagram as well, at Ashley K Fit. But in general, if you want like tips and workout ideas, I have a lot of that on my YouTube channel, which is YouTube, Ashley Kaltwasser. My last name's really hard to spell, hard to pronounce. So you can spell it Kaltwasser. But yeah, I've been working hard at the social media stuff lately, and it's been paying off. I love spreading the word of fitness and kind of reaching an audience that I would have never been able to without social media. It's like very rewarding feeling if a girl messages me saying like, you know what, because of you, Ashley, I didn't give up. You motivate and inspire me. So that's what it's all about. And it's, that's kind of what motivates me as well, is the fact that I can use my powers to reach out and motivate others.
Nice. So for people like myself, like I'm not familiar with your background, where you grew up, give us some insight on that.
So I grew up in Ohio. Akron, Ohio was my hometown, and I stayed there till about 2 years ago. And then I moved out to LA.
Right.
So yeah, my whole life was spent in Ohio.
Wow.
Lower middle class family in a suburban neighborhood. Very kind of regular life. I was always super competitive though. I was a gymnast, and then I found track, and I fell in love with track, and I ended up running in high school, was very successful, and it earned me a scholarship to the University of Akron, where I ran the 400-meter hurdles.
Wow.
And it was quite a great experience. I spent so much time in Ohio that it was good to get out of that realm and into a new environment like LA, which is super nice because it's a motivating environment. It might not be the most fitnessy environment, I guess you could say, but I just love how everyone's out here trying to be their best. They're always working towards something new. Everyone's always out and about hustling, and the weather is amazing, and you can't hate that. It's sunny all the time.
From Ohio to LA, eh?
Yes.
The variety, the boys, it must be a big difference, eh? Like the whole atmosphere, it must be just a huge shift.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, I mean, right now you've got the training going on. Is there anything outside of the training that you're doing that you want to talk about today with us?
I kind of just take it a little bit as I go. Right now, definitely super focused on the training because I'm like 2 weeks out. So it's like I'm forced to make sure that's my priority over anything else. My coach is going to be flying in like next week, and we are going to be training before I leave. He's awesome. He's great. He like really spends a lot of time on me to make sure that I'm where I need to be, and super motivating individual. So that's going to be fun. I've been working on my YouTube a lot lately as well, making sure I get some great content. I like to drop a video once a week at least, every Monday. But yeah, that's my main focuses right now. Also, when I get back, it's Thanksgiving too, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't plan for that yet, but it's just something I thought about. I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm like honored. And I really appreciate your time, and I think this is great. I'm kind of new to the podcast scene, so it's kind of cool, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Oh no, I'm sure it's going to be great. Thank you for joining us. Honestly, it's been a pleasure.